What's up fellas, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you are new, don't forget to hit the subscription button. So, am I happy because we won the game against Aston Villa? Or am I happy because this shit season is over? Or am I happy because yesterday I saw Rúben Amorim and those players actually motivated and fighting for something? For the first time since Rúben Amorim came in, I saw those players actually playing football. I don't know what motivated them, but if they think that we'll forgive them for this one game against Aston Villa, which Aston Villa were one man down, but even when they were full before Martinez was given that silly red card, I think we were above Aston Villa in every aspect of the game. I don't know what Rúben Amorim told the boys. I don't know what they had planned, but actually Manchester United yesterday were the better side. But that does not make us forget what you have put us through this season, man. This is how you are supposed to play on Wednesday. On Wednesday against Tottenham in that Europa League final, this is how you are supposed to play. And you threw that game away. Then a few days later, in a game which is meaningless to our season. Because if we could even won that game with 10 goals, we don't qualify for Europe. And we killed Aston Villa's hopes of qualifying for Europe this season because they lost against Manchester United, a team which has been shit this season. But Aston Villa, you losing that game, don't put that on us. Aston Villa are not good enough. If you are very serious wanting to qualify for the Champions League, you can play better against a Manchester United team which does not score goals, which has conceded a lot of goals this season. Unai Emery, you could have done a lot better, but that is not the purpose that I'm making this video. Because if I want to analyze that game, of course Manchester United were the better side. Mason Mount was dropping in those pockets, picking the ball. Bruno Fernandes, brilliant. But I don't want to talk about it, because if you are really serious and you wanted to take this club to the next level, this is the performance that we needed on Wednesday against Tottenham in Bilbao, not playing against those guys at Old Trafford. And you just think all of a sudden we'll forget the season that you have given us. But I have a lot to say. Since that Europa League final, a lot has happened in the middle. Like one, the Alejandro Garnacho and Rúben Amorim situation. And in this one, let me make it 100% clear. I'm backing Rúben Amorim on this one. If Rúben Amorim has to take this club to the next level, he has to take crybabies like Alejandro Garnacho out of this football club. So Alejandro Garnacho, we are good. You came from our academy. We are good that you have scored important goals, especially in the cup final. We are happy that you have been one of the best players this season. But let's be real, man. In a game like that, fans are sad. Some of the players are also frustrated. The manager is confused. He doesn't know where to go next, his next step to take Manchester United to the next level. Then you come out, you with your brother, and you go after the manager. Some are complaining that Rúben Amorim made a mistake calling out Garnacho in front of the players. But if I was Rúben Amorim, in that speech that he made yesterday after the game against Aston Villa, I'm taking the microphone in front of all those 70,000 fans at Old Trafford, and I'm saying, from next season, this kid Alejandro Garnacho will not be playing in this club, because what Alejandro Garnacho has been doing is silly, man. Remember in December, Rúben Amorim kicked 2 players out of the squad. One was Marcus Rashford and the second one was Alejandro Garnacho. Then Alejandro Garnacho went on and apologized. They apologized on social media, apologized everywhere. And Rúben Amorim actually took him back to the squad, but for Marcus Rashford it was different. Marcus Rashford did not apologize. That's why we sent him to Aston Villa. But I think now what Alejandro Garnacho is doing, it is not good for the club, man. The state that the club is in at the moment, we need players who have fixed their mind in a rebuild, because there's no way that the team lost the final. The fans are hurt even more than you, man, because I'm 100% sure if we have lost that game like 2-1 and Alejandro Garnacho scored a goal in the final, Alejandro Garnacho could have been happy, although Manchester United had lost the game. That is the kind of kid Alejandro Garnacho is, man. It is a guy who thinks about himself all the time. He always has his ambitions in becoming before the club. So we don't want players like those, man. So Alejandro Garnacho, you can safely leave the club, man. I know you can go somewhere else and prove us wrong that you are a good kid. Of course, Alejandro Garnacho is a good player. I know you can go somewhere else and prove these fans, Manchester United fans, that you are a good kid. You are a good player and become a world-class player. So go to Napoli, you see Scott McTominay has won MVP. Scott McTominay, I had nothing against him. He's one of my favorite players, and I was sad that he left Manchester United. But for you, boy, just leave the club, man. Just leave the club. We don't need crybabies at the moment. We need players who can actually take this club to the next level. We need players who actually love the club. We need players who actually, if you can see them, they feel it after Manchester United lose the game. Because there's no way Manchester United have just lost a European final and you are making it about yourself, man. How can you make it about yourself? The first thing after you are given that microphone, the first thing that you are supposed to do, it was apologize to the fans. Apologize to the fans. Fans, you are sorry, we have taken you through a shit season, blah blah blah. I have not been on good levels myself. I have not been a good player this season. I should have done more. I should have worked hard to take this club to the next level. Those are the things you are supposed to say, man, because none of these players are going and question this season because of the season you had. But the first step you took, it was going at the manager Rúben Amorim. Then you take your brother, you tell him to go after Rúben Amorim because you played 17 minutes, and it is not like you have played in all those games against Tottenham. I was just looking at the amount of games we have played this season. You are the second highest in the games played this season. I think the lead is Casemiro. And in those 4 games against Tottenham, guess what? You started in 2, you came on as a substitute in 2. If in those past 3 games you did not make an impact, or if you made an impact anyway Manchester United lost the game, what makes you think that if you started in this game, we could have won? Of course, if you started in this game, we could have been a lot better as a team. But that does not mean if you have started in that game, in that final, we could have won the game. So Alejandro Garnacho, if you want to leave the club, just fuck off, man. And the second thing I want to say, it is about the Rúben Amorim speech. I know every Manchester United fan is excited at the moment, and quoting his words, what Rúben Amorim said exactly. He said that when I came to this club, he came in this club in November, and when I was unbeaten in my first 3 games, when I'd won 2 and drawn 1 game, I told you, a storm is coming. And we have faced the storm, man. This is more than a storm. I don't know what this is, man. This is storm, earthquake, and tsunami combined, man, because the amount of suffering that Manchester United fans have gone through this season, it is beyond any explanation. It is beyond any storm. It is beyond any tsunami. It is beyond any earthquake, man. But one thing that again Rúben Amorim said, it is what? Now the storm is over, and I promise you next season will come as a better team. And I took the fans' reaction. Manchester United fans will always be Manchester United fans, man. Some came out and said, what? Ten Hag did say this, and they went on and lost. Ten Hag said this and he started our season, is the one who killed our season. Ten Hag said this and is the one who is responsible for this club being shit. Ten Hag said this and the club gave him 400 million. Now we are stuck with players like Zagzi, we are stuck with players like Højlund, we are stuck with players like Manuel Ugarte. But let me tell you one thing, man. I know I've said Rúben Amorim should be sacked. I've been in record in this channel, Rúben Amorim shall be sacked. He has not proved anything to the club. He has not proved anything to the club that whatsoever should be given 400 million in this transfer window for him to be responsible for the rebuild. But you also have to say this. If Rúben Amorim is to be sacked, of which it will not happen, but if Rúben Amorim is to be sacked, I want him to be the last person in that football club to be held responsible for this club failures this season. Start with these players and get them out, man, because that speech was clear. I'll bring back glory. He did not say bring back glory days, but according to his words, that is exactly what he was saying. If you give me time, I promise you that the storm is over and this club, it will start shining again. A few days ago, he said that he told his players in the dressing room that will be responsible for this squad, I will be responsible for this team next season. So I think if Rúben Amorim is given the proper talent by Ineos, the proper time at Manchester United, he can change the results from this season. He can change. I'm not saying I'm 100% sure saying that Rúben Amorim is the guy. No, he has to do a lot for him to prove that he's the guy. But if Rúben Amorim is to be sacked, I want him to be the last guy to be sacked in that club. Get rid of all these dudes. Get rid of all these fucking players. Get rid of all these players who have been killing this club, man. Get rid of them. Because the moment you start with Rúben Amorim and you bring another manager, the players have again won. So Amorim, I'm not 100% sure buying the idea that the guy will bring glory days back to this club. But you deserve time like all the previous managers who were at the club. You deserve that. You deserve that. And your decision to take out Alejandro Garnacho, it is cool. Jadon Sancho should never come back to this club. Marcus Rashford, don't come back to this club. And Onana, I think that guy should leave the club. Anthony, Real Betis, bring the money and take your guy, man. And final message, Rúben Amorim. He'll bring glory days again. We'll back you from the straight for the end. He'll turn the race around. Rúben Amorim. He'll bring glory days again. We'll back you from the straight for the end. He'll turn the race around. Don't forget to leave a subscription. Peace.